Hitchhiker beam out of commission, or this is going to be a real short trip. Okay, hit it!
Hey, hey.
Hey.
How's everybody doing? Ready for another unboxing here. Steve, Jason, you doing well?
Doing great.
Yep. Trying to figure out what a Krorssguard hilt is.
Krorssguard?
Krorssguard.
Yeah, I had to check the spelling several times when I actually put the title and everything up.
Well, when I saw it show up on the YouTube, I'm like, Matt, why didn't he take enough time to at least check his spelling?
Wait, it is correct though, right?
It is correct. Yeah, I checked it like 3
Yeah.
times because I was like, this is weird.
I thought it was supposed to be Krorssguard, and I just thought, oh, Matt just
You would
fucked
think
up.
so. You would think so. I think it's Jason. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's KR Sabers, Corbanth, and OSR Creations or ORS.
I think OS RX. So Corbanth is just a distributor, but I think it's KR. It's a collaborative effort.
Plethora of people coming together to make something. So,
and I think that they're creative with the language to sort of, unlicense it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they could have called it Krorssguard and it would have been fine, but I think they tried to mix up all the names and make it something different. So.
And then we got a
and we got some weird ass name, but whatever, it's cool. All right, so I'm gonna get into it. Jason also has another hilt that we're gonna be looking at as well, from KR as well. So Jason got the same Kylo Ren saber, but hilt, but yours didn't come in yet. Correct? Yeah. So the mail is effed up, and it is what it is.
Couldn't wait, huh?
I waited a week.
It's been a while. He's had it for a while. I think you got it last Wednesday, last Tuesday. Yeah, it's been a while.
So I waited a long time. I mean, I've already taken a peek at it because we looked at it last week. We just took a quick peek at it, but I think it's gonna be pretty amazing. But anyway, let me pull it out and get into it. And then Jason, you already got into your KR stuff, correct?
So I didn't open them immediately, but I did open them because I had ordered some Master Replica style cases and plaques, and I needed to assure that everything fit and played accordingly. So I did. But this will be my first time. Actually, this is actually my first time holding it and looking at it in detail.
So the difference here's the box. The difference for us is we didn't buy the kit version. Correct.
And it's so you won't have the extra pieces in there. You won't have the additional, like, being able to add or take away.
Right. We actually, what are these, Jason, that we got? Just so people know.
So this particular one is, they had the option to buy the kit and to buy the kit and have it weathered if you didn't want to weather it yourself.
Yeah.
So this would be the master that was used to weather the kits.
So you and I were able to purchase the master copies of these.
Correct. Okay. Yes. So I believe, I'm pretty sure based on the quick sneak peek we took that, and we can pull the image up, but the one that's used for reference when you see like the Reddit forums and such, I believe that's the one that you'll be showcasing tonight.
Which Jason was very frustrated.
I was a little bummed out. Yeah.
He was a little bit frustrated about. And what's probably even more frustrating is I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I don't know the difference. And so you could have given me either one. I would have been happy.
I didn't know. It came in and I just shipped it back out.
No, I know.
So we did some research. We talked about this, I think, a little bit before you received it. So we did a little bit of research on the details regarding this saber. We don't know everything, so any hilt aficionados don't attack us, but we did figure out a few things that were different between like the Phoenix props and then and then the screen used.
Really nice.
Look at the heat staining, huh?
No, you can see. I don't know. It's hard to see because it's so dark, but
Man, let me ask you. So from here, the blue looks very like natural. Is it very strong on your end or very subtle?
No, it's really nice and subtle. Like
Okay, so it's
in a
not
good
like
way. It looks it looks good. Yeah, because I mean I've seen the ones that have too much blue, and
yeah,
it's
it
just ridiculous.
pops in a weird way.
Yeah,
Well, that the way the black goes to like the copper to the blue, it gradiates very well.
Does it have plugs in the emitter holes there?
It looks like it.
It almost looks like the Disney Legacy Saber style. Like, are those plugs? Are they removable, or is it open?
They're removable with a hex screw, if I remember.
Okay.
I mean, with a hex wrench, yeah,
Mhm.
underneath.
yeah.
So that red wire, that actually comes from the same one used on the screen use prop. I believe, if I'm correct, it may have been. And again, if I am wrong, feel free to correct me. But I believe it was clothesline style wire, like vintage clotheslines from the 80s and 90s,
Mm.
and they were able to not just replicate it.
Time out. I
Well.
object to using the term vintage to describe the 80s and 90s. Unless we're talking about the 1880s
Circa.
or 1890s.
Circa.
Yeah,
Is that better, Steve?
that's
Circa 80s and 90s.
fucking A, man.
Circa 80s and 90s.
So it's not something that's close to, but it's the actual part. So I also believe the quillions on that, which are the two side emitters, are all steel. And then I believe instead of one like CNC machine piece, the little greeblies and bits, maybe some of them are added separately.
Okay.
So I know the gash as well, like the blue wire was put through properly. The way the screen used one was they pinched one wire into two. And wow, look at that really nice wear and tear underneath the gash. Wow.
Yeah, it's weathered really.
Oh my God,
really
it's
nicely.
gorgeous.
And you can, I mean, I wish you could see inside here. It's really it's got a lot of nice weathering inside there too.
I love how it looks. Like a lot of the weathering you see on some of the others, it's just like silver or steel showing through.
Yeah.
But that almost looks like a rusted copper, like it's layers of metal.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
A lot of nice variation in color.
How's the weight on it, Matt?
It's nice.
Does it feel really light, or is it?
Not
It's
super
hefty?
heavy. It's not super heavy. It's not like a Roman.
But it doesn't feel like super.
No,
like
it doesn't feel like a toy. It doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like a piece of metal. You know.
Okay.
It's nice. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm loving it.
It's a gorgeous piece.
It's really. Let's see what you have, quick, Chris.
Yeah. I think that this may have been shown by both Matt and Steve already, but we'll just go over it again. So I got this one. So this is the Leia Rise of Skywalker saber.
Super light.
This one is very light. This one weighs almost nothing. It's sort of weird to hold, just because it is so light. But it's got some really unique details. The only thing is, as screen accurate as this is, as far as overall design, one thing that I did learn just recently is that, see how this is almost like a mirror finish?
Yeah.
So in the movie, it's more of a brushed metal versus a mirror finish.
Okay.
Well, I should say in the movie gives off the impression that it's polished, but the actual prop, so let me correct myself, the actual prop is more of a brushed or flat versus polished. And then this, where it has a copper inlay, the actual prop is a rose gold coating. Right. And then this also has the actual mother of pearl. So this isn't like an emulated. This is a little hard to see. But these strips here are actual mother of pearl. Same thing on the
you had him install those for you?
Yeah, so this came pre-installed.
Yeah, you had to ask to have the mother of pearl installed.
Now, Steve, when did you get yours pre-installed as well?
Yeah, it was
okay.
He explicitly said somewhere that if you want it done for you, let us know, because a lot of people, when they were laying down those mother of pearl strips, the mother of pearl has a whole bunch of cracks in it, which are natural, and they thought, oh no, it's broken. But when you put it down, they go away because they're all on a sticker together.
So the reason why I asked, I was curious if these also had to be laid, or if it just had to be these parts here.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
So I'm not too sure. But and this has interesting detail.
Just so everyone sees, here's the difference in color. This is like accurate color. So this is what this is what we're seeing.
Oh my god, you snob!
With our eyes, with our actual eyes.
Such a snob.
I think that's good, but that is correct because mine looks yellow with the lighting.
Yours looks like shit, and it doesn't. It doesn't look like that to your eye. It looks like this. This is the color that you're actually getting. But
such a bastard.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good to at least see the actual color, the real color, because that looks like that to me looks almost gold, Jason. Like what you have going on there.
Well, I'm not a professional cinematographer. Like
we can tell that. That's
so. Have either of you watched? I think I'm trying to remember if this was on it. I may be misspeaking. There's on the Star Wars channel, they had a guest on who had actual screen use props from the Rise of Skywalker. And
I did see that.
Did they show this one on it? I know that they showed was it this one and the Ray?
The Ray. Yep.
So they showed both.
They showed this one, which is where I learned that the actual prop wasn't mirror polished and that it was a 24 karat gold versus copper. So yeah, it was an interesting little read.
No, it's actual mother of pearl. I mean, the way he described it, this is what he said when he was describing the problem. He said, look, mother of pearl is a natural material. It's naturally going to have these cracks in it, but don't worry, it's on a sticker. And when you lay down the sticker, the cracks all kind of go away because all the pieces are back forced together. So I believe that this is actual mother of pearl.
Yeah, this is actual mother of pearl. It's been confirmed that they used mother of pearl in here. Which once you have it in hand, you can feel it and you can see there's nothing synthetic about it. It doesn't look like an emulated, or it doesn't look like a sticker or feel like a sticker.
No,
it has
really
that.
Nice. It's really nice.
Yeah,
it is light as hell though. It is very, very light.
Now this is
let's see
another one.
So this is
this thing you could probably put somebody in the hospital with. This is extremely heavy.
This
a good
Sidious,
pound and a half, 2 pounds. Yep. The hideous Sidious. No, this is probably one of the classiest sabers I've ever seen.
Really pretty.
It's a finger prick magnet.
This is KR, right? KR as well.
This is KR.
Okay.
So what I like about this is they got this spot on as far as dimensions, detail, even the weight. And what I really, really like, and this is such a small innate detail, so the entire hilt is extremely polished, but if you see this one part here, it's not. And that's actually, if you look up like Wikipedia and you look at Sidious' saber, that's accurate. This one little area here is flat, where the rest of it has the mirror polish. Yeah, and then you have the two LEDs.
They are so
you have
good.
a green, and then you have a red. And I believe this can actually be made into, like one of the NeoPixel Profi board.
I'm sure it can.
What's interesting, though, is it's a single-handed, you can see how small it is.
Right.
It's probably, I think, roughly, I'd say approximately 7 inches.
Okay. What's at the top, Jason? Is that a plug? Is that just like a hilt, like a blade plug at the top?
Correct. So it did come with some additional pieces. Okay. You can remove this, and it has an open emitter to slide the blade in.
Okay.
But I think the way it's showcased, the actual prop, if you look it up, is showcased like this. So this is correct to the screen used.
Okay, interesting.
And then obviously when he, ignites it, it's just a CGI. But,
right.
The interesting thing is, Luke, Vader, even Leia, they all have the open emitter or exposed emitter.
Right.
The Palpatine screen accurately does not.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. When I got mine, Jason, the green lights or the green, I don't know, the LED, the LED. It's not really an LED. It's more of a lens or a piece of plastic had fallen into the hilt. So those
it's a little bit tricky to get out.
Yeah, they're not very. They're just like kind of friction fit.
Yeah, they are lightly. they're actually supposed to be protruding out a little bit more than they are, but I haven't put anything in there to put them put them through all the way. So like you said, once you loosen this, they'll fall in. But that's left up to being able to customize and do whatever you want to do with them. Have light pass through them.
Right.
But you guys know I have quite a few master replica hilts, but these are, I don't know, man. These are fantastic. On a scale of 1 to 10, these are a 10. These are beautiful. They just feel really good in the hands.
Yeah, it's really nice. And you were saying the gloves are a must because it's a fingerprint.
For both of them.
Yeah,
Both of them, but this one specifically.
that one looks crazy.
You look at it and it just wants to scratch and get greasy and dirty and so. But oh my god, this just feels good and looks good, and the colors are spot on.
Yeah, Sean's saying he got his Palpatine last week, and it's beautiful with great weight. Yeah, it looks like a really beautiful piece. That's one of the things I love about the Roman props. The Mark 1 or the Obi-Wan hilt. It's just so heavy, and it gives you that sense of like this is like a real, thing.
But they're not all like that, because
no,
the Luke from the New Hope Luke
from Roman
is pretty lightweight. I mean, it's by
right.
no means cheap at all, but it's lightweight.
Well, I'm sure it comes down to the parts they're putting on the thing, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder why that Sidious is so heavy though. Like what makes that thing so heavy?
So I did some research. I don't know specifically what makes it heavy, but Steve brought up a good point when you were mentioning the Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So my Master Replica's Obi-Wan is like the Sidious. Like it feels like you could, shatter something with it.
Sure.
It's like a weapon. It's so heavy. I'd say it weighs a little bit over a pound. Now my Vader and my Luke hilts, they feel just as light as the Leia. Okay. So I think that the weights, which I think is interesting because a custom, saber doesn't necessarily have to emulate the weight of the prop,
right?
But they do that as well as Romans. So I think the Luke, the Vader, and the other ones that are much lighter are accurate to how the screen use props were. They were just lighter based on the materials used in the builds.
Okay.
The ways in which they built them. So the interesting part too is if I remove the top, it's just hollow inside. So I don't know what makes such a small piece so heavy, but yeah, it is interesting. And I've been as they've been coming in, I've been doing a lot more research.
I think the reason why is the other ones are made out of aluminum, and this is clearly not made out of aluminum.
Oh, it for sure isn't. Yeah, you can feel it. And I did lastly get a thermal detonator. But,
you have it? I
do, but it needs to be assembled.
Oh, okay.
So if I hold it, it's just sort of a loose.
Where'd you get it from?
From KR. I can show it because I have it resting in the case. Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Didn't know that KR did a thermal detonator. That's interesting.
Yeah, they make theirs is Steve. Theirs is more, I think, more like less weathered. It's a little bit more just that shine to it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he does a weathered version of it. I'm not sure, but it looks nice. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never really been happy with the Roman props weathering. I don't.
What have you not liked about it? Because it looks fine on the pictures.
Yeah, but it looks to me like somebody just took black enamel paint, and kind of left these kind of swirly brush marks all over it. It doesn't look like natural weathering to me. Now that may be screen accurate. I don't know, but I've never really liked the weather. And then the second part about the Roman props is the switch.
Yeah,
is clearly plastic, and I'm really curious to know about Jason's.
So just to give an idea, it shifted a little bit as I was walking. So as I told you guys, I got some custom cases made to give it that uniformity of my Master Replica collection.
Yeah, it's nice.
So yeah, it's almost
but it's not
perfectly
put together.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about this one. So in regards to building this particular piece, it is not only electronic, but it's motion activated. Meaning once you flip that switch, all you have to do is give a twist of the hand, and it'll start to power up and whatnot. So this one is extremely heavy. This is probably equivalent to Sidious. This definitely weighs well over a pound.
Crazy.
And this doesn't have anything in it. So right now, there's no install done. It's just a shell.
Hmm.
What's the switch made out of?
The switch on this one is some type of metal. It's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Because I know the MR one. I had the weathered MR version, and this is plastic. But yeah, this is some kind of metal. It's got a little bit of weight to it for what it is.
That's cool.
But
So,
yeah, this is
are you
a beautiful
gonna
piece.
put this thing together, or what?
Yeah, so this I'm going to assemble myself. I mean, it's probably going to take me a little over an hour or so. It's got quite a few parts.
Yeah. Is it?
But
Would it
it'll
be
a
hard?
fun build.
Would it be hard for me to do it? If I mean, you know me, I'm zero.
I mean, you need
skill
like
stuff.
20, 25 gauge electrical wire, soldering, and you got to do all that stuff.
Dude, can you do it for me? Can I get this thing
There's,
fully finished?
I think OSR does the finishing, and I think Wonderful. No, who's the one you found, Matt? Is it Crucible Props?
Maybe Crucible. Yeah. Okay, so you just
I
gotta send it
know
to somebody.
Yeah, so I know Wonderful Sabers and Crucible Crops. I think does finishing,
Yeah.
and and they'll even do weathering for you because right now, as you can see, this is pristine.
Yeah.
Matt, you should make yourself one from the Solo movie.
From the what?
From the Solo movie.
The Solo movie?
Yeah.
Because it's fake.
Han Solo goes, I've got
right. Yeah. I have that one. That's the one I have on my shelf back there.
You can make that real easy.
Yeah. That's
Now, what I like about this,
I would love to get one of these. I'm bummed that the Roman props one isn't as good because that one's finished and weathered. That would be really great. I want a KR one.
The electronics are finished on it too. So the Roman props, it's completely finished inside and out.
Steve's not happy with that one.
I'm gonna go get it. I'll show you.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people had said that the accuracy, the weight, and the detail, you're kind of getting what you pay for. I mean, you're getting a finished piece of 300. This unfinished no electronics is almost 300. And what I like about this is what they did initially, like what Master Replica did back in the day, going back 13, 15 years upon producing these, is they did the weathered version that Boj is holding in Jabba's palace.
Right.
And then they did this mirror finish version, and they called it As First Built, which you'll see on the plaque. So As First Built is the prop, freshly built, and then they took it, weathered it up as needed for the actual scene. And a fun little fact that, I don't know if it matters, but one of Adam Savage's jobs back in the day was he worked with Master Replicas, and he was tasked to go to Lucasfilm, to the archives, and get as much reference to prototype the thermal detonator. And even more interesting is on his one-day build, when he shares that story, he's actually building the KR Sabers thermal detonator.
Cool.
Yeah. So just fun little Star Wars
What
facts.
did he say about the accuracy of the KR?
Oh, he loves it. And then he was just over the moon. And what's even funnier, today he actually did a live video where Cal from KR had sent him a couple of Ignots. So he was dry brushing them and sanding them.
Cool.
And in the meantime, he had his thermal detonator from KR, and he was sitting there playing with it, like, so he's just a ham. He's a good time.
It's funny. It's really cool.
So I brought it up. So, so you see the color is very different, right?
Yeah.
The weathering.
Sure.
And the weathering, it looks more like somebody just took a black paintbrush and kind of did little squiggles on it.
Yeah.
So not
not layered?
Well, there is. There's more like, so the way at the bottom is silver. Then you can kind of see the gold, which is layered on top of the silver, and then black on top. But the black is jarring. The black looks too much like paint, in my opinion. And then the core is clearly a plastic ball on the inside, and I don't like the way that looks. It looks like it's unpainted gray plastic.
What does the core look like in yours, Jason? Are
you sure it's plastic, Steve?
Well, it looks very similar to Oh yeah, I can see.
Because this is like a heavy. This one here. This is the core where the three lights go.
That's what the core
This
looks
is like a heavy. This is like a heavy steel.
Yeah.
No, it's plastic.
This is all CNC
Yeah,
here. This got some weight.
If I take a metal thing and I tap against its plastic,
Yeah.
and then the switch on the top is plastic.
Mm.
So I don't like the plastic pieces, but what I do like is the.
It's finished and ready to go.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It's got really good effects. So
Yeah,
I like,
the font is perfect.
yeah, I like that, but
That's
it's not as now. I don't know. I've looked at some photos of like other ones, and I've seen it looks very similar to this, like plastic. Yours is the first I've ever seen, Jason, that has a metal switch. And look,
Yeah, it looks like
that's great.
This looks like it's like an anodized aluminum,
Mm-hmm.
and like with the color as well.
That thing, once you finish that thing, it's gonna look great.
Can you show the bottom?
Yeah.
Can you show the bottom of it? Okay,
Straight
so
up mirror, dude. That thing
all right.
is-
So do all the lines come to an exact point, or do a few of the lines stop short of coming to a point?
So on the bottom, they all come to a center point, a meeting point. On the top, they start from the base here.
Yeah.
But they don't meet completely.
So switch over to mine. This is a subtle difference. Switch over to mine real quick.
Yep.
So if you look at the bottom,
Hmm.
you'll notice that in the 5 o'clock and the 7 o'clock position of the bottom, there's extra lines.
Yeah.
Those extra lines don't come to a point in the center. They actually end a little bit short of the
I
center
see it.
point.
I see it.
It's almost like somebody sliced the pizza up pretty and didn't do a good job.
Is that accurate, or is that?
I don't know. That's why I was kind of curious to see what his looked like.
Well, now that you pointed that out, Steve,
Yep.
okay, I'm noticing that there are two additional
Yep.
here. It's kind of hard because mine's so.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do they go all the way to the center, or they stop maybe?
So no. So I'm gonna run my finger. It stops right here.
So it is accurate. All right.
Yeah,
It's like a hair, but it's such a small, but it does stop.
Okay.
But if you glance at it like this, just a quick glance, it looks like they all have a meeting point.
Yeah. Well,
So
at least
you're gonna-
you know it's fairly accurate, Steve.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
going to keep yours pristine, or are you going to weather yours?
Well, here's the thing. I'd like to weather it, but the plaque that I have, as I was just explaining to Matt when you stepped away, so there was two variations when Adam Savage was prototyping these for Master Replicas. They did the weathered version, which ended up being the signature edition, the Carrie Fisher signature edition, and they did this, which was considered the as first built. They also did that with one other prop, which was the Obi-Wan A New Hope hilt. There's the weathered, banged up one that I have, and then it's the same hilts, but pristine, shiny, beautiful.
So what's
And
screen accurate?
The weathered one. So
Okay.
this is titled as first built, meaning this is how they built the prop, and then following that, they weathered it up for the scene.
Okay.
Moving forward, so I think I might touch it up and give it some.
It still looks really good, Jason, in that case, though.
Oh yeah,
It looks very clean, and like being clean itself looks very nice in that setup.
it does, and the measurements were approximate. It even gave enough space for the plaque. I mean, everything about it was approximately done to the exact measurements of the MR case.
Nice. It's nice.
And I did the same thing for the Sidious saber, and for the layer hilts, I got the same cases made.
And you're planning on getting a standing case for your crossguard, your Kylo Hilt.
Yeah, I want it rather than sitting like this. I want it to sit like this,
Okay.
sort of at an angle.
Mike's saying is the KR thermal detonator not available fully built.
I don't believe it is, but they do offer like a reference to have somebody do it for you.
Okay. Yeah. And Nathan's saying that his sleeping pattern is still off from the from the last group therapy. Nathan, you got to figure your shit out, man. That's like a week we've gone past. I mean, you gotta balance yourself out there, brother.
You're getting old, Nathan.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to think of what's KR. What do they have coming out? Do you know if there's anything they've got coming up, Jason?
So right now, I know that they're working on. It won't be. It's going to be quite a bit. But I know that they're revising the Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yes.
So forgive me, I don't know the difference between the Clone Wars and the. It's the samurai style ones, not the round ones,
which looks so much thinner than the Disney ones.
I bet.
Oh, very much. Yeah. Well, even when we were looking at the cylindrical version, because I have the EFX, the EFX one is very thin as well.
Isn't that the case though? With what seems like almost every time we look at these, not every single hilt that comes out of Disney, but a lot of them are quite a bit bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, if they don't have room for the electronics, they will.
Right, and they won't look to find smaller electronics. Like they're just throwing in. Yeah,
they'll make the saber bigger.
Right.
I mean, the sabers look great now, and I was totally happy with them. And then I saw the pictures from KR, and I'm like, oh, well, that's really different.
Oh, damn it!
and that's why I won't get their Dooku, because their Dooku is
just big.
An abomination.
We saw it from Mario, and Mario it looked like a freaking hoagie in his hand.
Huge,
like freaking huge. Yeah, it was pretty
way too big, right?
Yeah.
The problem with that is, like we mentioned, they aesthetically and design look good. It's just the girth throws it off, and it's unfortunate because they have to mass produce those. It's not like the Force Effects ones that Hasbro released; those were even more accurate. The Disney Parks ones, they're making so many that the electronics are probably of lesser quality. So they're probably bigger.
Yeah, understandably.
So it's a given, but you're also only paying $1.50.
Yeah, to be fair, the price is what it is, right? So hey, Brian's saying that happy to catch the live show. So KR is actually coming. They're coming out the Ray. They
are, yes. We had seen that last week. Remember, Steve?
It didn't have the wrap.
The cloth.
Right? It was all black.
Yep, the wrap. Yep.
Which I didn't know that was like right off the staff. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's so cool.
And the fact that it's yellow, and when it opens, the triangular parts come upward.
So what is yellow?
See the yellow pass through.
The blade is yellow, or
the blade's yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, it emits yellow when she ignites it. But what's cool about it is
it turns when you ignite it. You turn.
So
turn it.
When you turn it, the triangular points raise to expose the blade and the emitter. And it's just fantastic. And there's also like a small little vent that you see some of the yellow come through, just like in the movie.
On that, Jason?
So cool.
I believe so. I believe they're taking up pre-orders. Yep.
Have they started already?
And I did decide it took me about 2 weeks, but I finally decided to pull the trigger on the Empress, the Dark Side Ray.
Okay.
Oh, wow. You did, huh?
It's just so unique. And I love the hilts. I mean, what's Star Wars without lightsabers, you know?
You had sent me the part that they used for the joint between the two. It's an actual like, it seems like a heavy duty military gun part, right?
It is. Yep.
That's great. That makes me feel more confident about it, because looking at the EFX version, I always thought, boy, that looks.
They're not gonna get that piece and purchase that, and because I think I sent you the link to the actual piece itself.
So wait, you're saying that you don't think that KR is going to use that one?
No, I don't think EFX mass producing it is going to do that.
Oh, that's nice. That I like that light up. That's good.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I mean, look at that, dude. That's so sick.
That's different.
I mean, listen, say what you want about I get it. Say what you want about the movies, but the designs of some of this stuff is the Kylo Ren hilt is amazing. I think some of these designs are really, really cool looking.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
The Kylo Ren is so nice. Look at even Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Who posted earlier today in our group. He, not that he had a large number of prequel or sequel pieces, but he had a handful. And he
Right.
decided, I'm going to revise and narrow down to specifically original trilogy and
Yeah.
have a focus. And the one thing he didn't part with was the Kylo Ren saber. And there's a reason. Aesthetically, it's just a beautifully done saber. It shows a lot of character. It represents the character that it's attached to. It's just great.
And that's one that Disney did really well. So
It is.
It
you
is,
have,
yeah.
don't you have the Disney? Do
Do
I?
I don't. I had the
I-
Force Effects one for a while.
I don't know. I don't.
Oh wow. Okay, so none of you have Disney. Okay. Yeah. I'd love to
No,
get
we're elitist snobs. We have the.
No, I just haven't gotten them yet.
We
I
have the
just really
screen
haven't
anchor
gotten them.
real deal. I'm just
I,
kidding, man.
I was going to for a minute there, and then I'm actually glad I didn't because I ended up getting the Roman props really as my kind of main first one, and after that I was like, well, I need to go custom for all these because I like them better, because I've been to the store and I've held them and seen them, and I think they're good. I just I don't know. Nathan says, do KR make an Anakin saber? Do you know?
Oh, like Attack of the Clones or like Revenge of the, Nathan, I don't believe there's a few variations of the Anakin sabers for the prequels. The Attack of the Clones one seems to be the most sought after. It's actually a very beautiful piece. Revenge of the Sith has both an Anakin and a Vader iteration of the saber hilts. But I'm sure there's so many custom makers out there. I'm sure somebody.
Keep in mind, guys, like we were talking about KR a lot because we're showing their hilts and stuff, and they are very, very good. There are other very good, like if you're going to get an Obi-Wan saber, in my mind, a hilt, the Roman props.
It's going to be Roman.
Yeah, Roman props hilt is fantastic.
They nailed it, yeah.
And it's heavy. It's really, really nice. If you're going to get, there's Corbanth makes some really good versions of some very accurate hilts. Solo's Hold makes some hilts. Like there's a lot of places to go. And there's kind of certain places to go for certain hilts in some cases. So yeah, there's a lot of options, I think. It's kind of confusing though, to be honest. Steve, so Sean says, Steve, is the Disney Vader hilt larger to fit the electronics?
I would say generally speaking, any Disney saber that's not the right size, it's because it's made to fit the electronics.
Sean, I would say look at Corbanth. Corbanth, I feel like have a nice Vader, a nice couple different versions of Vader.
One thing to point out too, with the Sidious specifically, and Steve, I don't know if you noticed this. So there's a few other makers that make a beautiful Sidious, but what they don't do is, you see how you have the variations in the copper, the rose gold. So even here where it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
This looks like it's all stainless steel, but it's actually two-tone.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the stainless steel, this is the two-tone. A lot of them that make them look just like this, but the two-tone coloring is missing. It's stale.
Oh yeah, when I got it, I went and I searched for reference photos because I was curious because I had seen them being all silver, not with that rose gold. And so I went and I looked and I realized, yeah, they're spot on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's always, whenever you're dealing with custom makers, it's not that, we're biased in any way, but as you start to learn and go through the process of learning, RS, for example, the reason why we favor RS is because you go through buying Innovos and EFX and whatever other companies license or unlicensed, and then you realize, hey, I found the one who does it just right. So with KR, he seems to be the one who is getting it the most accurate and is putting the most time into getting these right. And it's not to say that anybody else is making an inferior product by any means, but you are going to pay a little less, and along with that, you're going to get some slight inaccuracies. And if that doesn't bother you, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But we're static collectors, so being static collectors, it's a little bit different.
This is the one I wish I would have not missed.
The Cal Kestis.
Yeah, this is a really nice hilt, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at you can see, look at that. Look at the little tiny, like all the stuff they put into this thing. I bet this thing weighs a decent amount too.
I got the EFX version of this.
Who's making the Solo Maul?
That's so cool.
That is that Saberforge? I'm
I don't
not
know,
sure.
but I think, doesn't KR work like do some stuff with Saberforge and then some
they
with
all,
they all kind of mix it up, right?
for the most part, they all. It's a tight knit community where they all work very well together, and I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for that because
Yeah.
it's one of those things where instead of dog eat dog, they all kind of say, "Hey, let's sit Knights of the Round Table, come up with the best quality, best ideas, choose the best factories, and get these done the right way." Rather than having some shortcomings. And I mentioned this very briefly just because I don't want to plug other people. Not that I have anything against it, but it's just, but Cal from KR was actually just on Rexing Around about a week and a half ago. Now, it was related more to some drama that had happened with some other saber makers, but it did get into the whole collaborative effort and the why and the how, and it just makes for a better quality product in the end.
Yeah. And then Brian was saying, Jason, which Empress did you say you were picking up?
So it's the Dark Side Ray. It's her double staff saber, and they call it the Empress. And
Empress Regent.
Empress, yeah, the Empress Regent saber, and that is from SP Props.
SP Props. Okay, let me bring that up.
And it gives you two variations.
Isn't it Regnant? I don't think it's Regent. I think it's Regnant. Like with an
is it Regnant?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll double check that.
I'm just visually trying to recall it, but okay, yeah, Empress Regnant, and so I believe is it SP Props or SP Sabers? SP Props, right, Steve?
Yeah, it's kind of like SP Props and Phoenix Props, kind of like a collaboration between them.
Yes. Okay. So another collaboration where it's SP and Phoenix Props, but this one. So you have the EFX one being really well. We'll use that lightly, but potentially being released, and it retails for about $1,500. The thing is, EFX makes great proper replicas. They really do, but with their sabers after Master Replicas became EFX, they started doing what they called, instead of Hero, stunt versions. So they were made of like resin or PVC, and they're very inexpensive and they looked great, but they just didn't have that metal and heavy feel that you would normally used to. So I think EFX is going to use a lot of plastic parts. Now, I could be 100% wrong. This is just my opinion. I don't have this on good reference or source by any means, but I think the custom maker, not only are you saving $500, it's still $1,000 piece, but I think you're going to get a lot more heft, a lot more detail. And if you choose to get the weathered version, it's going to be weathered by hand.
Yeah, I think I think this looks better than the EFX.
It does. There's just a lot more elemental parts to it that just look more natural, and
the weathered version looks beautiful.
It does. I looked at it. Once Steve pulled a trigger,
Did you pull a trigger, Steve? You doing it?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
That made me think about it even more. Then finally, I'm just like, I don't want to. It's one of those things. Like
it's delayed, by the way.
It's what?
Yeah,
it's delayed. They did a post something about. I forget what they were saying, but they said something about needing to get something done right. There was something that they needed to go back and.
They are making a Kylo with Phoenix Props.
Oh, okay.
So that would be a version 3 at this point.
Yep.
Because Phoenix Props has version 1 and version 2.
Version 3, yeah.
And those go for a pretty penny. Those now fetch around 15 to 2,000.
The memes chat, dude.
Oh, here? Oh, this one?
Oh my god. 1.5. I'll tell you 1.5.
Stop. I was telling you to put it away, not to bring it up.
I know. It's so fantastic. Okay.
This one's great. I love this one.
This one's fantastic. I found another one today I was going to post. I forgot to post it.
This is so perfect to describe that fucking movie.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, I gotta post this. That's funny. That's just too funny.
So, if I'm saying this correctly, is that Orang? Am I saying that correctly, Matt?
What?
In the comments?
Orang? Yeah, sure.
Okay. So he makes a good point. And Steve, we've learned this with the Boba lineage helmet.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and Steve had owned the Boba Fett lineage helmet. So they do just that. They idealize it and they clean it up. So back in 2008, 2010, they had what was called their Legend series, where they kept all the imperfections, or I shouldn't say that, close to. They attempted to, but they did a much better job then. These days, they clean everything up and try to perfect it. And you're right, it's all of the imperfections in Star Wars that make it what it is. And it loses its character when it's cleaned up and idealized. So, yeah, that's why the custom ones, specifically like a dark side gray hilt, you kind of have to go that route to get what you need to get.
Yeah, I think, and Orang was saying he appreciates the in-depth talk on this stuff. It's cool. Yeah, I think there's just so many good. I think when you get into custom, especially, I mean, we've kind of seen this with statues as well. You get into the custom side of things, and they just seem to take more time and put more love into things and take more time to like research things. It's just it just is what it is, right? They can almost do better. They're what's interesting is they're dealing with hardcore collectors, especially the hilt side of things. It's very you're going to spend some money if you're going to buy a hilt, essentially. And so they know that. They probably know they can put more into the finished product, right, than a Disney or than someone else could. So you really get some really nice pieces coming out of custom.
These guys are making decisions on parts to save pennies.
Yeah.
Yes,
when it
you're
comes
right.
down to it, right? Pennies in the parts, pennies in the seconds in the assembly.
Because they're making so many.
Because they're making so many, right? And they're trying to go for that bottom line.
True.
Whereas the custom, I'll say it again, I would prefer to pay a little bit extra for the better parts, for the better labor.
Or wait the delay. I mean, I don't mind getting an email saying it's delayed in order to have it perfected.
Yeah, I'm always
appreciate that.
Impressed when I see somebody say, "Okay, we're delaying it because we want to fix this thing." That's perfect to me. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so many options out there. It's freaking crazy.
It is, but I think there's various categories. There's entry level, there's static collectors, there's ones that, like Sir James, for example. Matt, we watched some of his videos. He's actually a great resource for sabers because he goes through so many variations from so many different makers, and he'll showcase the fonts, the sounds, the lights, all of that. So he's good for in-depth. Anybody who's interested in learning about sabers and hilts, specifically custom ones. It's Sir James. And again, I'm not trying to plug other people, but it's just, the community is all for one for all.
Yeah, sure.
He does some great in-depth reviews. So yeah, if anybody's interested, check that out. Because he, for some reason, it's his thing. So he gets, if it's a Vader saber, he'll have 5 different versions of it from 5 different makers. And he'll actually compare and contrast the different ones.
So I put the proper spelling of the saber so people can find it into the chat. It's not Empress and it's not Regent. It's Empress Regnant. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's really kind of weird. I think there's actually something else called Empress Regnant. Oh, it's a female monarch. So yeah, it's a female monarch who reigns in her own right over an empire.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna show. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find this. This is the one I was gonna show. This is the kind of stuff. Okay, so hold on. This is the kind of stuff. Here's the Vader hilt from Corbanth. This is the kind of stuff I really like. The whole like.
Oh man, this is what I was trying to ask. Okay, I was asking you about this one. We couldn't remember for a minute.
Yeah, they have the micro flash thing on it still.
Yeah. So it's not an original MPP, but it's got a nice look to it for sure.
It's got a.
Is that screen accurate? Did the screen one have that label on it?
It does, yes. Which is why, if you've noticed lately, like very, very recently, they're just going for crazy prices, and they were expensive to begin with, but now they're just like people are reporting record numbers like, oh, the last MPP sold for 4,000, and
Oh, jeez.
because they're just becoming harder and harder to find. The only thing on this is the wires are a little too clean. If you look at the screen accurate one, the wires are sort of thin and sort of wrangly and just poorly done. And then also Roy from Wanawanga does the top with the knurled paint job, sort of like that. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
clean,
yeah.
smooth paint job, but you know what I'm
Doesn't
talking about, Matt, right?
isn't
The
it like a
paint
like
job
a
is like,
isn't it like a metal? Like he actually has a metal like top that can be go on these things?
yep, it's metal, and the paint application is done in a way where the paint is sort of almost I hate to say this as a reference, but like when you see like yogurt go bad,
Yeah.
it's got like that knurled sort of style to it.
So
But it's
speaking of Wanawanga, did they receive a package with paint recently?
They did, yeah.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be a smartass tonight, huh?
No.
I sent mine too. I sent mine over.
I was trying to be polite about it.
No, I'm jazzing you. Yeah, Steve, I want to ask, did you send your instructions?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I sent the whole box unopened.
Should I?
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
No, because in my mind, I'm like, this is how well, this is how well I know. I'm like, he's not going to send us instructions because the whole like blueprint style, he's going to want to keep them.
Should I have sent
So it's like he's going to rely. No, I knew Matt would.
I just didn't even.
But I knew you would want to keep them.
I didn't see any reason to ship them. Why waste?
They look good. They look good.
Why waste the gas?
Yeah.
This is what you're talking about, right, Jason?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Nick is saying that the screen use prop did not have the label attached.
And there's 3 variations. I think the main one did not, but the one that I think was on his belt. We might have to pull up the PDF that with all the details.
Okay.
That will tell you the variations and what scenes did or did not, but it was pretty beat up and in pretty poor shape, and that's
he just had that standing by. Impressive.
No, it's on the Wanawanga site. That's the one. That's where you find it.
And did you see that they recently made some small revisions? So I went back and did another read on it.
Yeah, guys, if you want to see some crazy in-depth like lightsaber shit, go to Wanawanga and you go to their lightsaber ebook thing, and it's crazy.
And it's not even a long read, but
it's so in-depth and crazy. I mean, look how long this thing is. It's freaking nuts.
It's got everything you could possibly know. This will make you a hilt expert by the time you're done reading it.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so let me get to Vader.
And it'll tell you all about what a foamer and a Graflex and a 3 flash and a 5 flash and all that stuff is about.
Okay, there you go. So this is a build by somebody. So that's actually a someone built this. But if we go down here, let's see. So this is one of the original Vaders. Let me see if can I get closer here.
Now I gotta say, we don't do this often enough, but I love talking hilts.
Yeah.
I know it's fun.
This rust must have come after the movie, right? This was not in the movie, was it?
Again, I think in certain scenes, maybe scenes where they were battling or maybe hanging from his side belt, but they were in rough shape. I don't think they were in that rough a shape, so that might be post-production as it just aged. I actually came across one today, 3,500. It was a real MPP.
I think I need to read this up closely because there's a lot of details here. Like in this guide, it actually talks about the difference between the Rey version of Luke's lightsaber versus Luke's lightsaber, and there's literally a difference. And if you look at the Disney version of the saber, it's accurate to the Force Awakens. So it is literally Rey's saber. It's not really Luke's saber technically.
Yeah, there's even one for like the holiday special. There's the bunny one, which was the one they used to like stunt with. So just like we see the helmets and blasters where you hear hero and stunt, they had the same practice for the hilts.
Interesting that this is so.
Yeah, I wonder if the one we're talking about is like a stunt version or something.
So he's
'Cause
saying
sometimes they left-
his Disney Parks Vader is weathered like that. I mean, I had the Disney Parks Vader, and it wasn't weathered. That's really interesting. CC3PO's comment about the Disney Parks having that rust weathering on it. It's fourth from the bottom.
This one.
Yeah, I had that one. I got rid of it when I got the two RS versions.
Mm.
Not
So
RS.
interesting that it's added paint. So they at least try to emulate it.
Yeah,
Even
but
though it's not
mine
chips,
wasn't.
it's still
Mine
accuracy.
wasn't painted.
But she's the C3 saying it predates the Legacy Sabers, so it's before the Legacy Sabers. So
Oh,
Disney Parks, Galaxy's Edge, Legacy, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's interesting. All right. Yeah.
basically dented helmet for lightsaber hilts. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, thing's crazy.
Okay, so Nick Klein has a good point here, and I think he may be one step above us in knowledge on this particular subject, where he says there's 3 variations of the MPP seen on screen in the original trilogy. 2 are in A New Hope. That I recall.
Yep.
And 1 in ESB, never seen on screen in Return of the Jedi. Correct. So the one in Return of the Jedi was the one that was completely different. So ESB and A New Hope share very close similarities, where Return of the Jedi is the one with all of the hex bolts put into them. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
so CC3PO says, Steve, she may believe that it was sold as the Rogue One version, possibly.
Huh. Interesting.
Freaking Obi-Wan hilt is so beautiful.
That's gorgeous. Roman props. I have 2 from Roman props. That's
They are just
what
beautiful.
I have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know with the micro flash thing. That's a good question. If it showed up at all, like this thing, in anything, or is that just a callback to where they got it originally?
No, it's showed up because I've seen one real version that was a complete mirror build of a screen used, and even the bubble lens.
Yeah.
It wasn't your typical bubble lens. It almost had like a blue PCB board with red in it.
Okay.
I wish I could try to
Jason,
find a pic.
you, by the way, you look like a serial killer with that one glove on.
Oh,
The one
sorry.
rubber glove
Well, because I just in case I pick this up, I don't
And you're
want
wearing
to.
all black. You're wearing all black.
I'm pulling a Dexter.
Freaking perfect. Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd love to know where
Can
this.
you put a? Are you familiar with Blink 182, Jason, and the
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Enema of the State album with the nurse on the cover and the glove?
Yeah, there you go.
Could you put a nurse's hat on your head, please? That would be
Prostate check. Yeah.
This does look really nice, though. I like the weathering on this thing. It's really.
I like that right around the little screw. Yeah, that's fun.
Killer, dude. It's really cool. Yeah, Corbanth makes some really nice sabers as well. Some hilts.
It's interesting how Corbanth. So they make sabers, but they also distribute because they have KR, but KR has his own site.
Yep.
Then he does 89 sabers, which 89 sabers are pretty well. They're well received in the community, but I think more so when you want to start adding in all the boards and colors and things like that.
Okay.
You have the Mace Windu version right here.
Yeah, I mean, here's the kit version of that.
Hey, Matt, go to the Kylo version. That's about $500. Let me see the Krorssguard. Yeah, let me see that compared to can you enlarge that? Yes. Okay. Perfect example. So see how I was saying, whenever you see weathering, it's silver, it's just still coming through. Yours has what looks like layers of metal rubbing away over time.
Yeah, it's very rusty. Yeah,
but it looks like naturally metal aging and breaking down.
Correct. Yeah. It doesn't look like just one thing. Now that said, you could probably get it to look like this yourself if you did it or send it to somebody. I think the blue is very.
It pops in. And here's another thing. Look at the quillions, right? Look at the 2-side emitters. The black doesn't spill over onto them. The black stops on the blade. and then you just have the heat staining. On yours, the black comes onto the side emitters and
Yeah.
then graduates into the
True.
copper and the blue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's a beast of a piece.
it is, man. It's beautiful. Again, this is a KR Saber version of this, so I don't know. You know, I don't know as they go on and do more of these if they get more accurate or if they're doing them different ways, or I don't know how this works.
I think it's just a build. Somebody just built it a different way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Either
again,
way,
you
it's
got
beautiful.
the Masterworks one. That's the thing. You got the Master.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Man, I'm actually gonna send you the picture so you can pop it on screen because this way it would give everybody a clear.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I can bring that up. But yeah, really, one of them, one hilt I really want to get is the Cal Kestis hilt. I really like that. I just haven't really seen one available anywhere, but they got some really nice ones.
So yeah, this is the exact one you have, Matt. This is the one you received. I just sent it to you.
Okay. Let me see here.
Okay, so Nick Klein said the Vader and New Hope version 2 has a rare red LED found in Texas. Okay, yep, that's it. The exact for 20. It's got the blue PCB with the red, and it's actually interesting looking. I really like it.
Okay, let me see. Bring it up. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but let's see. Okay. Okay. So that's the one you're talking about. This one.
Yep. Yeah. So that I think you should be able to screen match that.
Yeah.
This one is which one is this?
The one Matt's holding in his hand.
Oh, the one on the screen.
The one I have in my hand.
Oh, this is one. This is the one he has.
Yeah, it's the actual one. Yeah.
Like actual, not just a rendition of it, but the actual one.
Yeah. It's I think you're right.
Oh my god, look at that. That is sexy.
Quite possibly. I mean, it does match up pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. I look forward to seeing what yours looks like, Jason, to see if there are any differences. I mean, I know both of these are masters, so I would imagine they've got to be fairly close.
And you confirm, so this little button on the side, we did confirm that it was clear, because in the picture it looks dark, like it's black.
Which button?
So the one next to the gash, on the opposite side of the red wire.
On the opposite side of the red wire. Oh.
It almost has those lines. It's like a little bubble.
Yeah, it's almost like a clear, cloudy bubble.
Okay, so that's screen accurate. In the image it looks dark or black, but screen accurate it's supposed to be
about this right here. This section,
yes, correct.
These two little bubble things. Yeah. Yeah, those aren't painted over. They're actual like bubbles with like you can see inside of them. Yeah, it's pretty. It's very, very, very nice hilt. It's beautiful. But this is what you're saying is this is the version that people look at.
Yes, this is the one that makes its rounds for comparative purposes and references.
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice. I kind of wish you would have gotten it because I know you care about that and I don't. So I'm kind of bummed for you, but
we can always switch.
Yeah, exactly. I really am interested to see what yours looks like, how close it is.
I'll trade my number 2 for your number 1.
I'm sure it's got to be super close, dude. That's so funny. All right, is there any other hilts you guys are looking to pick up at some point? Anything you don't have that you're wanting to get?
I desperately need prequels. Prequel Kenobi, prequel Qui-Gon.
Oh, right.
Oh, Qui-Gon's a nice one.
Did somebody just make a Qui-Gon? I thought somebody just made a Qui-Gon. Wasn't that where did I see a Qui-Gon? Oh, who made it? I can't remember who made it. I thought I saw it somewhere.
I want to go for a. I'm actually looking for a signature edition Attack of the Clones Anakin, but because of the whole Obi-Wan show announcement, they went from like 1,200 to like 2,000 overnight.
Yeah.
And I can't get caught up in that nonsense. But it's such a beautiful hilt. It's got a level of. It's a mix between class, but also has that like, badassness of like Anakin. It's different. It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't see it too often.
You know what the best type of paint is to weather a metal saber?
It's usually oil-based paints for like car work and things like that. I mean, if you're adhering to actual metal or aluminum,
and that's if you're using. I mean, with weathering, you don't always use paint, right? You're using some other. There's other ways to weather stuff, right?
Yeah, I use like a Nuln oil because it's not too watery, but it's not too thick. It's just enough where you can get it on there and make it grimy, but you can still wipe it off if needed.
Yeah. And then a lot of it is just applying it and then wiping it off, right? Applying it,
Correct.
wiping it off. Yeah. I need to look into that kind of stuff. Not that I would ever do it. I just, I don't know. I think I'd honestly be really bad at it. Is he talking about Mace Windu, Steve?
I have the Disney one.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly acceptable for the time being. So I mean, if I happen to see somebody come out with a Mace Windu that I thought was really good, I'd upgrade. But since I have the Disney one, I'll pursue the ones I don't have until then.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sean says he picked up an 89 Sabers Qui-Gon on eBay. He contacted 89 Sabers and they said it would be a while before they make more. 89 Sabers, yeah. Sean, how do you like the Qui-Gon, the 89 Sabers Qui-Gon? Is it fit pretty accurate for you and like weight, all that kind of stuff? Like
this makes me laugh because it's like I have this $25 eBay points thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I better go spend that before it expires.
Yeah.
And so you go out and spend $500.
Exactly. You're like, well, now I got to spend money on something.
I saved that $25.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? It's smart. That's exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah, freaking evil bastards.
Hilarious. Caesar says, yeah, I think I punished props. I think Punish Props recommends oil paint with a little water. There you go. Which makes sense. And just rub on, rub off.
Rub on, rub off.
From what I understand, yeah. Are we hold on, it's actually pretty light, but I'm very happy with the accuracy. That's good. He's talking about it's 400.
Looks like the cheapest one.
Which one?
The KR
89 Sabers Qui-Gon.
89 Sabers Qui-Gon.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, the Qui-Gon Sabers aren't terribly heavy. I know the Obi-Wan prequel ones could be. And then you have the Revenge of the Sith one, which is basically just a shinier version of the New Hope one. It's like a cleaner version of the New Hope one.
So is it accurate? Because I never really looked closely at, the grip. There's like this, the grip is flattened. Do we know if this saber from 89 Sabers is screen accurate, or is this like their own interpretation?
I don't know if it's 100%, but if it's the step pattern, but in a flat foot, but step pattern, that is correct in style.
Okay.
So Solo's hold is the one that's making the Ahsoka Clone Wars version Hilts.
Do we remember? I think we asked already. Do we remember who's making them all? The Solo Maul?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a nice one. I saw pictures of it. It looks really good.
Who's the one? Who's the one that had the the Sean. Sean, do you think $400 is a decent price for that saber?
He says, Aaron's saying, why the hell is Jason's video clearer than everyone else's? I think mine's zoomed in. That's why. But he has this. Jason, you have the same
Aaron.
as me, right?
What is it?
You have the same
Yeah.
thing as me. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, when I heard you say what camera you had, I was like, well, everyone's ragging on me. Might as well go pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I found it for a good deal. I forget where, but when you first said it, I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's an expensive camera. But then I did some due diligence and found it for a decent price.
You never know. It's all based off your freaking internet too. What it wants to do that's a certain day. Yeah, Solo Cold is another good place to look for sabers here and there.
3+ years. Oh, yeah. I got another guy I just heard is starting to make his rounds of the naughty list.
Dude, there's a lot of people selling mystery chunks now.
I know.
It's crazy.
Got to get that V2 saber accurate.
Pretty nuts.
I almost bought one for my MR Luke. And who would have thunk it? All you got to do is buy a pair of boots. You get like 50 of them off one pair and sell them for $30 a piece.
Crazy.
Pay $50 for the pair of boots and you make $1,000 off.
What is this? Hold on.
Solo Mall Hilt.
Sorry, guys. We were just kind of looking around and seeing if we can find
The Rebel Armory.
Everyone's searching right now.
Yeah.
What are you still looking for your for the 89 Sabers one, Steve?
I was just poking around trying to see if there were any eBay deals right now worth getting it, but I think I'm gonna wait, to be honest.
It's 400 a lot. He said 260. Is that what he said? Go for around 300 to 350.
Yeah, probably makes sense to wait.
Yeah,
I've been pretty good this year so far. I mean, I've made it a whole week, and I haven't ordered anything. So
entire week.
Wow. So there's one version. I'm sorry, guys. It's called the Crimson Lord. The saber run for the Solo Mall. It is crazy good.
Who's making it?
It's the Rebel Armory. Put in Rebel Armory Solo Mall Hilt.
On the internet?
Yep.
I'll bring it up, Steve.
On the internet?
As opposed to like a search as opposed to Facebook.
Oh no, I'm just being silly. I'm in a chipper mood tonight.
Yeah, would you cut the shit out already? Jesus.
I'll be more solemn. I'm sorry.
There it is.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's nice.
That looks legit, huh?
Yeah, it's nice.
Now watch this little picture down here. They show like the details inside. Wait till you see after this, Matt. Ready? So they're showing like the prototype. Look at that. That's actual part of the saber.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I like that. So when you guys had asked, what's something that I want on my list, I know it's something that may be frowned upon, but it was made by EFX. It's not one of their stunt ones that's like resin plastic. It's actually, most of it's metal or aluminum, but it's the Luke reveal where everything opens up and exposes the kyber crystal. That's on my list.
Mm.
So it's
that's cool.
Jedi. It's Luke's Jedi saber, but you can open it up and see the inner parts.
The crystal reveal ones are awesome.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and because it was a licensed one, it's accompanied by a full print. It's not big, I think like 17 by 22 of Vanderstilt, and it's the Luke Jedi Knight like this, and all the pieces are floating, the saber floating between his hands.
Yeah, that's killer, dude.
It is.
Anakin Starkiller has an interesting thread on the RPF for a as production made TPM version of the Obi-Wan if you're looking for a static prop.
Anakin Star Killer.
Interesting.
Okay, on the RPF.
As production made TPM version.
So, real quick, Brian had asked, the mystery piece of the V2, was it just discovered? So, Brian, that was discovered back in September. So it is recent, 4 or 5 months ago, but yes, it was discovered in September. They finally, after 20 plus years, figured out where it came from, exactly what the piece was.
Well, and interestingly enough, I think someone from our group, Daniel Newman, I believe, he actually found a boot, right? It's the bottom of a boot. It's like these
Yes, it's the studs of it's the studs of the rain boots.
Yeah, the studs of the and
They're like
and
galoshes.
he found one and he took them off and he was selling those. And they're, I mean, for cost or whatever. It was it was pretty cool. Like they started to find them, and then people are starting to reproduce them now.
Roy does some reproductions of them because these galoshes that were primarily sold in the UK.
Everything comes from the UK. Jason, you're muted, by the way.
Oh, circa 1970, circa 1980. But so they're a little bit harder to find these days because the newer ones just have flat grip bottoms. They don't have the actual metal studs to kick up the mud.
The ability to search on Facebook sucks. It always has.
It's so antiquated.
So I couldn't find anything Anakin Star Killer on the RPF, and Obi-Wan had like 5 million results. So
hold on, let me see if I can find it.
did you go to
Star Wars Costumes and Props?
I went to Replica Prop Forum. I go to the wrong place.
That's right.
That's right, but there's like just the sub part is it the Anakin Starkiller Return of the Jedi Yuma lightsaber build? Is that what it is?
You found it?
I know I found something. I just don't know if that's what it is.
Oh, there's a Replica Prop Forum, and then there's a Replica Props Forum.
Ooh, sneaky.
I wonder if that's different.
I just always type in RPF and the right one comes up.
I don't know if that's the right one. Hold on. Maybe.
Is Klein part of our Facebook group?
I don't know.
Nick, are you in the Rogue 16 Facebook?
Informal, it says informal poll. Okay, let me see. OWK. Okay, I have it.
Can you send me the link, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like...
Hold on, I'll put it up.
The absolute shittiest search ever.
Well, thank you for your support, Nick.
Yep. I don't see any. Well, so I was looking for.
Oh, this is on the actual RPF.
Yeah,
okay.
the RPF. Yeah.
So that means I got. Oh, that was like over a year ago. Okay.
No, I think it was September. Wasn't it September 2020?
Says the thread started on November 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I think if you go to the last page, even on the last page, someone was like, I'm in for one.
Yeah, I see that. I just don't know if, but now I got to go join the RPF and all that. So, all right. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't see any pictures though. Let's see.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder how real this is at this point.
Let me see if I can find any pictures on this.
I'm so bummed. I had this seller about a year ago who had this beautiful custom case, yay big, right? Had the Darth Maul saber on the top and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon saber at the bottom with a custom Master Replica plaque that's a Duel of the Fates. And you only wanted $2,500, right? Which is the reason why that's such an amazing deal is because the Obi-Wan Elite Edition sells for that alone by itself, never mind the Maul and the Qui-Gon. And it sat and sat and sat. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, nobody's buying this anytime soon. I have plenty of time to get this. 2 months goes by. I go to write to him and I say, hey, I wanted to come pick that up. He was in New Jersey. He was going to drive and pick it up. He's like, you know what? He's like, I just got an offer on it. He's like, the guy's coming this afternoon to buy it. I'm like, So ever since then, I learned not to.
This is
yeah,
not
that whole.
This is not the one he's making. This is just a one from a few years ago.
Right,
Sorry.
but I think it's.
Sorry to cut you
it's
off,
the-
Jason.
I think it's
No,
the
it's okay.
same.
It's got a nice little Trooper Trent Jedi remote in the back.
Yeah, I think this looks great.
Yeah, it looks
Oh,
really
those are
nice.
good.
Let me see if I can find anything else here. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like those are ones from the same. Like he did a run of these like a while ago. or
Oh, you think
something.
so?
That's what it sounds like. That's what he's gonna do. He's doing another run apparently.
Okay.
So I don't know. Might be worth it.
Yeah, if that's the way it looks fantastic.
Looks really nice. Yeah.
A little bit. It looks parts of it like the black kind of looks like you can kind of see the 3D print lines on it.
Aaron says, I'm excited to get my 3 new wave toys asteroid machines showing up Saturday. Not even sure what that is.
Huh.
Sounds fun. Star Killer makes great hilts. Okay. Must be a custom. I mean, that talk about inside baseball, like custom. That's like going to the RPF to this guy that's like, hey, I'm making another round of these hilts. Like, he doesn't know where, can't find it anywhere else but this freaking forum. Like that's meta right there. That's super deep.
Oh man, know what I love? So in Gabe's little video tonight, right?
Yeah.
You talk about licensed and unlicensed. Like the thing about unlicensed is like there'll be situations where they have a version 1 and a version 2. And
Yeah, oh yeah.
Only that one was for you, Matt.
Matt doesn't like that.
I don't like it. I get it with like super like custom makers. I understand that. They I get it. I just think with like a company like EFX or someone else that's scanning the prop and actually going and like putting all the effort into going and to Lucasfilms and like looking at this thing and figuring it out, you should be able to get it right the very first time you do it. If you make another run, you're fine. Make another run. Just don't call it version 2 and say, oh, it's got more accurate this or that. Like, I'm okay if custom people make it because they don't have those resources. He says 6-scale replica arcade machines that just released. Oh, okay, yeah. He's talking about like 6-scale asteroids machine. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna be tough though. You gotta like really.
It's for like a 6-scale setup, dude. Fantastic.
I know, but you can actually play them.
You can actually play them. It's pretty cool. That would be cool if they made the one for Back to the Future that Marty was playing on. The Western one. That would be really cool.
There's a guy selling the Ahsoka MYC statue on MYC buy sell trade.
What does he want? 10 grand?
No, he only wants 1,500.
Oh wow!
Oh, good buy.
Which is
but their new Ahsoka is
gonna be much better.
Killer.
Yeah. But if
Matt,
anybody wants that.
Not bad.
That guy never responded to my deal.
No.
It was a trap.
Oh, was it?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
being,
it could've been
it's a trap. No, I wrote to him and said, would you consider? And just
Yeah.
radio silence. So he was probably like, "Go kick rocks, buddy."
Damn, dude, that's such a bummer.
I thought it was fair. I don't know.
I feel bad for Chris because he bought that damn Mythos Boba and he's been waiting forever for the damn thing.
Yeah, man.
And that's an exciting piece.
It seems like shipping got bad after Christmas. Like
I think it's
before Christmas, I was doing fine.
I think it just got backed up from everything.
Yeah.
I was wondering if how they put so much emphasis on mail for the election, if that backed anything up and it just compounded everything, and all of a sudden we're seeing the it being behind because of that. I don't know.
I still get pieces that haven't come in. As we mentioned today, there was a helmet that we ordered, and I had to actually go to the post office to retrieve it because it had told me it had been delivered 4 days ago. It was still completely off the grid. I luckily found that. I still have the 2 hilts that are off the grid. They should have been here well over a week ago. And then I have a few pieces that had gone out. 2 of them were shipped out on December 3rd.
Yeah.
About a week after I shipped our initial package. Gone.
So Jason, I ordered a Kenobi, a Luke from Return of Jedi Luke saber from a maker called 7 Chambers.
Okay. Yep.
And they were shipping it through DHL. It took DHL 2 weeks to pick it up. All right, just to pick it up from them. It's not even a system yet. That's how bad it was.
That's crazy.
I don't get it. And
what's happening is there's 2 Star Wars fans that have your hilts and they're just going around the freaking place just playing.
Yeah, they're like playing, and I'll probably see them on a YouTube video or something.
Exactly. They're like, let's keep these for like a couple weeks and just hang out and have fun. I'm telling you, man, they got them. Bo's Bounty says NYC is making a version 2 Mandalorian. That's different. That's a whole different.
It's a Beskar, yeah.
Yeah.
Beskar version.
What do you guys think
Has he confirmed that? Because I thought he was really on the fence about doing that. Did he tease it?
He's been on the fence about it only because there's so many other Mandalorians coming.
Right. He did
tease it.
He did.
Yeah.
I think the mindset is, and rightfully so. I think that well, there are other people making it, so I think initially that was deterring him, but now it's motivating him because it's like, well, there's 2 or 3 other people making it. Why don't I offer one that's actually good?
Right.
So was that the preview where they showed the boots? I don't remember seeing the Mando.
No,
preview.
I don't know if we actually saw like a preview of it. I just know he's been working on it.
Okay.
What do you guys think of this piece?
Spot on.
I think it looks good. It's for me. It does nothing for me in terms of, hey, I want to go have a quarter scale.
Yeah.
Right. To me, I think it looks. Let me say, I think it looks great, but I have no interest in it.
Okay. Yeah. It's just not for you. Which is
you
fine.
guys are getting it, right?
Yeah, Chris and I are getting it for sure. I know, Jason, are you getting it? You getting this piece?
I haven't ordered it yet.
Okay. Chris and I ordered or going to order this. I think the pre-ordered Saturday. 9 o'clock or something like 9 in the morning for me.
Yeah. And so don't anybody try to convince me to get this. I've decided I'm not getting it.
So
That's
Steve,
a great looking droid, Steve.
You're not going to get any other droids in this line?
Oh no, I think if there were other interesting droids, like I would jump all over a K2SO, I think. Or
or Q90 or
but
you don't need the matching other droids.
No.
Okay.
I can say no to something. That's good.
that is good. That is actually good. Oh my gosh!
Stop showing the goddamn pictures of it, you bum.
I know. Listen, I tell you what. I was amazed at the price. It's actually priced pretty well.
Yeah, it's reasonable price.
And especially after you put in the first deposit, you're really only paying another couple $100. It's pretty awesome. So.
Oh, stop.
No. Don't get it. Don't get it. Look at that base. That base is
Shut
sick,
up!
dude. Okay, all right. I won't talk about it anymore.
Actually, I think the base is a disappointment to me.
I really like the top.
The base.
I like the top of it. I think it looks really nice. I get you may not like the black. Is that the part you don't like? The ring?
That, and it's not interesting. Like every other base that they make has stuff going on. right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if part of the base was like a sandcrawler treads, or like the actual part, something interesting, and
No, I get you. I actually appreciate that it's a bit smaller than some of their other bases. Like the Cad Bane base is massive.
Yeah.
I don't, if
Oh yeah,
we do,
no, I get you on that. That is nice. If I was then if I was happy with this smaller base, I wouldn't want the black so close around it. But the less complex base is probably also why you're getting it cheaper.
Yeah, right. True.
Right, they're saving money on making that.
You know what? Chris and I were talking about this the other day. That one of the reasons we really like MYC, or at least maybe I was saying this to Chris. One of the reasons I really like it is I feel like their pieces feel like so much like Star Wars, because they do feel like a lived in world. Like they do the weathering, the way they do their weathering, the way the piece feels even in hand, like physically, it's something about it feels like different to me. I don't know what it is, but
no, you're right. It's almost beneficial that the paint apps aren't so streamlined and perfect, because Star Wars isn't streamlined and perfect.
Exactly. You're getting something that feels very unique and just different. I don't know. Don't worry about it, Steve. You don't need R5D4. You someone else will make this for you someday.
I would like a full scale R5D4. That would be cool.
That would actually that'd be pretty cool. It'd be
I want a full scale Gonk.
Gonk?
Yeah.
Gonk. Yeah, that would be. Those go for a decent amount of money, don't they?
Well,
Jason, are you going to go after that or not?
The R5, no.
Okay.
Okay.
It just doesn't fit well with what I get going on.
Yeah, no, understandable.
I've been I'm laser focused right now this year.
I am too. I feel like I am too, but I am getting this.
Yeah.
This is something I actually really like.
The entire year I've been laser focused.
For this whole year.
Come on, guys. We were all willy-nilly last year, buying everything and anything. Okay, Star Wars, put me on the list.
I know. It's bad. We got to do better. We have to do better. I'm definitely more focused because I don't think I'm buying Hot Toys anymore. So that should help me to like focus a little more on what I kind of want more. So otherwise, yeah, it would be tough because there's so many cool Hot Toys. There's so many cool Hot Toys that come out. There's so many cool everything.
And they're killing it right now. It's Star Wars Bonanza. They're going gangbusters on Star Wars. We waited years for this to happen.
Dude, I couldn't do it anymore. Like at some point I was just like, I feel like I'm buying Black Series figures, not in the quality. I think the quality of Hot Toys is fantastic. But I'm just saying the amount of them, it feels like they're coming out with something all the time.
The abundance of them, and for the price point, it's serious cash you're dropping. So it's one of those things where, we talk about this all the time. Would you rather have a piece that maybe there's only 5 in existence and skip 3 or 4 Hot Toys, or would you rather have those 4 Hot Toys that you can buy any day of the week on a buy, sell, trade group or eBay?
We've all talked about this. Like people tell us, we see people all the time say, "Oh, I know, I can't afford that.
I can't afford this. I
can't get the Rancor. That's ridiculous." And then I think to myself, well, how many Hot Toys that you just don't give a shit about anymore do you have sitting behind you?
Oh, they're like, hey, I got 7 Hot Toys on pre-order. And I'm like, well, I just sold 5 and it paid for my Rancor.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is it's all about.
It's relative. Yeah,
it is. But I'm not saying for them not to buy those things. It's just a decision, right? It's a decision you have to make.
Here's my thing, and I'm going to say this openly, only because I want to be careful how I word this because it's not meant in the way I'm saying it. So I'm a big fan of PJ's channel and PJ's group. Okay.
Yeah.
He has a lot of first post info, and I like that. So that's beneficial to me. However, and I know that he doesn't necessarily mean this every time. It's more to just kind of push a little hype behind the content. But he'll post a Gentle Giant bust oh wow, I need this. Or look at this Clone Wars bust oh, I can't believe they're making this. I gotta have it. And that's great because it's whether he generally wants it as a content provider, he's putting that excitement out there. But at the same time, it makes me think, well, the problem with this is, I mean, it may be limited, but at the same time, it's still partially mass produced. What I'm trying to do is, I don't mind having a handful of mass produced items, but I don't want to have a whole collection of mass produced items.
Yeah, right.
But the amount of time, not even the money, remove the money, but the amount of time that I've been investing and the amount of effort that I've been investing into collecting, I want to make sure that at the end of the day, I have pieces that are unique to me, unique to my collection, pieces that I really enjoy. And I say this all the time, I don't want to watch collection videos and watch my own collection. I want to see differences. And nowadays we're getting to a point where every collection tour video we see, not every, but for a while, for a minute there was a lot that every time you saw a collection tour video, you were looking at the same collection over and over again.
Right. Sure. Yeah. No, I hear you. Steve,
So that's sort of my goal.
Steve, how are you going to change? Why not both? Are you going to do this? You're going to do this?
Why not both? I'm going to change and I'm not going to change. Why not both?
Pull it halfway down, so maybe not both? Maybe just one?
I love it.
I guess I really haven't given changing much thought.
You don't have to. I'm just saying. You can keep rolling. Just how you are.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing's wrong with you, Steve. We're just wondering if there's anything you've thought about.
Yeah, I honestly, I haven't. I don't know.
I'm trying to be a little more focused on, like you said, Jason, to be a little bit more careful because it's so easy to just be like, Star Wars, I want it. Star Wars, I want it. Especially things like NYC and Hilts and helmets and all that stuff.
And then you'll have 27 stashes behind you next year.
I know. It's crazy. Like that's the problem is, and I would be in even more trouble if I was Steve because he's got the room for everything. Like if you have the room for it, it's like, well, why not? I guess.
Well, he goes ham sometimes when collections come up, and he's like, "Yeah, you want to split it?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I think if the space wasn't available, I think he would be more right, Steve. I think you'd be a little bit more cognizant of picking up 5 or 10 pieces at once.
Yeah, I need to recharge the accounts.
Yeah, you and me both.
Refresh them. Well,
the
tough part with Steve is that he's also into the Lord of the Rings hole as well.
Yeah, and
I know. I just saw that release from what's that beast?
They did Lurtz.
Lurtz.
Wow.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. And I hate Lord of the Rings, and it looks amazing.
It looks so good, dude. That whole line is unbelievable.
It's nuts.
Steve, has there been any time where you've thought, no, I shouldn't get these? Or is it just
all the time? It happens
really
to me all the time. Oh,
because they're so good.
I constantly all the time. I'm like, why are you doing this?
They're so good though.
They are.
Man, I swear that is one of Prime One's best line of statues. Like I think it's that good. They are so damn good, and that doesn't help you, Steve. I know, but my goodness, I just think they've done such a killer job.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna have to pre-order the Lurtz here pretty soon.
Oh, damn them. Damn them. I love it. Sidious says, you guys are enablers for sure, but listening to people like Thor who collects dark side only helps narrow down focus. Thor does a fantastic job of staying focused on just one thing. It's amazing to see, to be completely honest. He talks about statues every week on a very deep level.
So patient.
He's
so patient.
Very patient and
that's the type of discipline that most collectors need to practice.
Yeah. It's smart to narrow your focus to one thing and then narrow it even further inside of that thing.
But even the thing I noticed about Thor is even when he does enjoy something, he doesn't allow himself to get caught up in the hype of the FOMO. He doesn't get all razzled by it. He's just like, hey, the piece will come when it comes.
You know what I will say? He's slightly caught up in, which I think is totally understandable, is NYC. He really likes NYC stuff now.
Oh, and yeah, of course.
Understandable. And I don't blame him for that. They're coming out with some really nice stuff now. And so it's cool. I actually like seeing Thor get excited about something because then it's good. It's good if he's doing that. Let me see. Loved the pic Real Robot posted of your chewing. Of Chris's chewing.
That
the car,
was
yeah.
cool, yeah.
I wonder what kind of looks you got on the interstate. Yeah, Chris.
Should we post the other one where Chris was giving him a?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Chris.
He's-
Yeah, Chris. It was cool because Chris got to go pick that up with his boys, and that was neat. That was neat for him.
That's a classic picture. Hey, real quick, Matt. We have a new group member, Joshua L, who's I think watching
Okay.
right now in real time. I just want to give a little shout out, Joshua. Welcome and nice to have you.
Just signed up or?
Yeah, I believe we were chatting a couple of days ago, and I said, hey, you know, this might be a good fit if you're interested, and he
Yeah, that's cool.
poked around, and he's really enjoying the content and in the group. So yeah, just want to say welcome.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
What was that?
He was just jumping off for a second.
Yeah, sorry, I've been somewhat preoccupied. I got a warning that my passwords had been compromised, so I've been going into
Like a legitimate one?
Yeah, Chrome was warning me that they had been compromised, so I just was out going to websites and updating them.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
Well, no, I mean, it's a natural part of life on the internet these days, right?
Yeah, but still a pain.
Yeah, because it's like my Amazon password and my Facebook password. It's like, you bastards.
Yeah, so that's a headache. So we haven't talked in a bit. It's been, the holidays and the new year, the world burning down around us. But so a couple of new pickups. I was able to find an original MK1 Webley EE3. Found parts.
The Webley itself.
The Webley itself, yep. I think some of the Greeblies that are added on may be machined and not genuine, but the base is genuine. And I also finally, just after weeks, closed on in A New Hope Chewbacca bowcaster, and every part of it is found. The radio dials, the discs, they're all original, all vintage. None of them are resin or 3D printed. It's got the Horton Safari bow, the pink bouncy balls on the ends. So
right, you were telling me. I think you were telling me about. Did you actually get it in hand yet?
No, so that one's gonna be. I should have the EE3 probably within the next week or two, depending on how deliveries go. And I should have the bowcaster, I'd say by the end of January. And then lastly, I did pick up. I didn't realize I'd be so interested in this, but then when I saw it, I spent a couple days just really, I don't know, being taken back by it. But I got the Pulse 40, so Bo's little side blaster.
The spear gun.
Spear gun, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I picked up one of those, and it was a great price. It had CNC metal parts. It had the original base body, which I know they're a dime a dozen. They're inexpensive, but it was done well enough where I just pulled the trigger. And I have one last piece. The only thing is I haven't closed the deal on it yet, but I'm hoping to. So I'll probably once that goes through and I confirm it, I'll mention it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the found parts because it feels like you're getting the replica, but you're getting the real version of it. So it just feels, something about it feels different when it's actually made of the same parts that it was made of in the movies. But because of that, I've had to sort of make a lot of reconsiderations in what I'm purchasing or not purchasing.
Because the found part stuff.
Yeah, so it's made me narrow down some other things that like the R5D4. I think it looks phenomenal, but it's just $400 or $500 that I need to free up for. And
it's not for it's not for everybody. It's fine. It's like I think that's very, very much specifically one that if you really like R5D4 and you like droids, then great. That's something that's an option for you. It's really not crazy expensive, which is nice in terms of statues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it, Matt. I'd love it, and I'd even like to have it, but I just think with the found parts stuff and then the amount of money it's costing me, I literally have to look at things and say, well, if that's $500, that's $500 that I can allocate here.
I totally
But
get it. The only thing
it's-
I would say on some of these, Jason, is like you pay the deposit on this thing, and then you're waiting what 5 months?
that's true. Yeah, you're not paying it all up front.
You're not paying it all up front, so you're literally paying. I think it was $230 for the deposit, and then you're paying another what, $2 something, to get the thing. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's
all I'm
not
saying.
too bad. It's not like a $900 statue. You're right.
Exactly. It's not dumping, $800, $700 all at once. So that's that. And by the way, NYC also has payment. You can do payment plans with them if you want to. That is an option. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad he's doing that.
So Bulbous Bounty's asking for a blaster that is screen accurate. Any recommendations? I know Steve may have some. I have a few. There's Andy from Special Ops Props. There's is it Potomac, and then Sidewinder. They all make really well made pieces, and they vary in screen accuracy, some more than others, and they're affordable. They're all under 1,000. Then there's the Field Marshal, which is right around 1K. It looks absolutely amazing. It's all metal machines cast from the original parts. The only thing is that I think it requires both assembly and painting. So if you're comfortable with that, that's probably your best bet.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's usually a pretty fairly expensive piece, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, look what's happening with the master replicas. Yeah, some people are being assholes and they're charging 20 grand because Jeremy passed, which I think is in poor taste. But even in general, like the people who are just keeping it at market value, the limited version is going upwards of 4 or 5 grand now, and the signature edition is nearing the 10,000 mark. That's insane.
Dude,
I mean, the thing is a beast. But
Boba Fett is just going nuts right now, man. Like,
well, it's a double whammy, Matt, because he came out of the blue, but he's such a badass character. I mean, who doesn't like aesthetically? He looks amazing. He kicks ass. Yeah. His weapons, his armor, he's got the whole package. If I was looking for somebody to date, it'd be Boba Fett.
Well, and on top of that, Tamora Morrison coming back and playing him. I mean, it's just exploded. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why, I feel bad for people that don't have this thing on order yet. Who knows how many freaking RS props are actually going to make of that thing? We don't even know how much.
Not as many as we first assumed.
Not as many as we first assumed. You're right. You're right about that.
Because they literally said if we keep taking orders, they'll be painting Fett helmets for the next 3 years.
Yeah, years and years.
Nonstop, yeah.
I mean, it takes 40 hours each, so I get it. But damn, dude. Like that's the Fett helmet to own right there. That thing is nuts. It's just a bummer that it's so limited, I think, at this point. Let's see. Aaron said I worked 42 hours overtime to get half of what I'm paying for my action figures.
What's the figure though, Aaron? Is it Transformers, man? Because if it's another Transformers, you're gonna get a 2-day ban. You're gonna get an expulsion from the group. No, actually, that last Optimus Prime that I pulled up, the detail on that thing was crazy. And it wasn't one of those weird, freaky Michael Bay ones. It was like Optimus as we know him.
If you get in Transformers, it goes crazy, dude. It goes deep. Like they've got ones that actually transform into things, right? They have ones that don't, but they're crazy detailed and crazy, like heavy and stuff. Dude, it's nuts. That's a whole nother world. You know what's amazing to me is pick almost anything in this world, and there's like a forum or a group or something that goes super deep into that thing. Like for almost anything. It's freaking crazy, dude.
CC had mentioned the prop store Y-Wing. Yeah, there's a shell CC of the Y-Wing. The only problem is I think it was pre-production. I don't think it was meant to be used or production made. Whatever the details were behind it, but it's basically just a shell. So it would need a lot of work. It would need a team like Rob and Simon, which they already have one, but it would need somebody like that to bring it to a level that's acceptable. That's the problem. Yeah, it's a challenge. There's actually quite a few pieces that they had that may seem like a good buy, but you really have to have the skill set to bring it up to par.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue there is you know, it yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on how with some of these production stuff, you know, are you okay with putting it up unfinished, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are you going to do with it really? That stuff. Yeah. That's why RS is such a great option for helmets because they put in all that work
Mm-hmm.
to replicate it. Yeah, guys, how you feeling? Good to go?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kind of researching and talking at the same time.
I was thinking about dropping off in 10 minutes anyway. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's end the broadcast. Guys, we'll be. Do we have anything coming up, Steve? I don't know if we do. Do we?
You guys doing that interview still, or is
we
it
need
not
to,
going to?
Jason. Need
Huh?
to. Yeah, Jason, I need to.
Okay. So, but aside from that, the next thing I got to wind up is group therapy next week. So
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jason and I will try to get on that thing, and it's another collector spotlight, which is it's awesome. We just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So-
We'll take a minute to talk about that, Matt, before we head to bed.
Okay. And otherwise, yeah, look for group therapy next week. I'm hoping there will be something next week we can unbox. I don't know what's coming in for anybody or what's happening.
I might have something. I might have something fun.
We'll have to see when Chris is getting his Mythos boba. It might not be for,
I feel bad. That thing's been in the mail for like a month.
I know it might not be for like another couple months.
He's like today. He's like, did I order that before the helmet? I'm like, yes, Chris, you did. He's like, it's been in the mail that long. I'm like, dude, I was like, you have no idea like how many things I've sent out or have coming in that are just
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, dude. All right. Thanks, everyone. Let me well, hold on. Let me get us
Nice
out.
casual
All right.
little Thursday night.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.
I'll go.